just about to get things underway here in Columbus. Swept back by Gabriel, right back to Chismar. Chismar able to pick that one up. He'll start to work forward here. We'll put a pass over to the far side to Colsey. Colin Brown, the Ohio State long pole coming out to defend him there. Quick pass to Thomas Menke. Waiting for reinforcements still to get set up here is Virginia. Menke working his way away from Langermeyer, one of the Buckeye captains. Behind the net ball with Sunderland. Right into Colsey, is shot on, and it bounces in past Fayak. Virginia's on quickly here.
It's a very, very good stable possession for Virginia right off the face-off win. And again, for the Buckeyes, they decide to not cover somebody on the X. It allows this really quick open pass right in front of Caleb Fayak. And sometimes just that speed is a killer. Uncovered, uncontended, and it's the 11th goal of the season for Ryan Cosley.
Did not take long at all, and Virginia's already up quick. We know how prominent their offense can be, and they're showing it here early. Oldman, Gabriel on the faceoff again, swept forward. Johnny Cool able to get to it first this time. Ohio State gets their first win on the faceoff for Jack Oldman. And Caleb Fayak will start the breakout himself. Fayak gets a pass to Cool. Cullen Brown will carry over the midfield line as Cool hangs back. He'll get a pass in here to Ryan Donnery. Donnery waiting for reinforcements, being pressed well out wide here by John Schroeder. Now Garrett Haas behind the net puts a pass far side to the Buckeye top scorer, Alex Marinier. Matthews sets it up top to Mayer. Mayer gives it up to Jack McKenna. McKenna on his right hand puts a pass down low behind the net to Haas. Looking to set a pick for him. Haas right to the front of the net, turns, rips a shot on, and he'll shoot and score.
When you talk about speed, how about Garrett Haas? We talked about the young players. A sophomore here is going to tie up the game for the Buckeyes. And not only do you see all these other offensive weapons, but Haas's biggest weapon is his speed. So from that X, just absolutely puts on the burners. And one-on-one, you're not going to be able to stop Haas.
Was unavailable for the game last week against Air Force. Ed Sheehan played in that X role and excelled in it. Haas already back in just a minute and a half in and has his first goal. Oldman gets the ball forward. Gabriel tries to cut him off using the body, and Oldman picks the ball out of the dirt. Second win of the day for Jack Oldman. Oldman gets the ball in, able to settle it. Finds it to Haas, who just scored. Haas working around, gets it up to Marinier. Now the freshman Liam White. Griffin Turner takes that pass. Shane O'Leary coming on for Ohio State as well. Turner looking around for options. Has space in the middle, finds to O'Leary. Down to Donner, right back to O'Leary. O'Leary in the middle looking for space. Tries to the left-handed shot, but is stripped for the ball by Will Erdman, who's quickly going back down the other way here. Griffin Turner back trying to defend him. Virginia will set a ball in. Chismar pass right in the middle for Erdman. The shot in the short stick. D-Med scores for Virginia here.
Turnover into offense for the Cavaliers, and for the Buckeyes that rank 42nd in the nation in turnovers per game at just under 18 in a game. This turnover back in their own offensive side causes the speed, causes the quick passes, and honestly, the Buckeyes have allowed some of those open lanes right in front of the net, Connor, and Fayak's big, but he can't cover that entire net.
First, no goal call on the field. Means Erdman had that toe tap, must have been on that line, or at least partially touching that line, and we go back to a 1-1 game here in Columbus.
Honestly, the Buckeyes get a little bit bailed out there, I'm not going to lie, with just two defenders right in the face of Fayak. So many open angles, and yet the touch inside the crease is going to mean the challenge is successful. The Buckeyes get the goal taken away, and we're back to 1-1.
And Ohio State gets possession out of this as well. Bobby Van Buren will start with it down in the near side corner of the field. He'll flip it over to his goaltender as Fayak starts to walk up the field here. He's looking for options, has to go back to Van Buren. Not really too many open there. As man in the middle, it's Ben Mayer. Mayer trying to get over the midfield line, defended by Ben Ware. That should be a fun one today, Ben Mayer versus Ben Ware. Mayer carrying it in the middle. Moves it out to Matthews and right up to McKenna. McKenna looking to drive down on his right here, uses size to his advantage, puts a pass behind the net, and available to set a pick for Haas here. Haas trying to look inside, puts it behind the net to McKenna. McKenna trying to use the mismatch from behind the net. Able to get up to that far wing. Puts a pass up top for Marinier. Now Matthews. Matthews trying to cruise on in. Has an open pass behind the net to Mayer. Mayer turns, puts a shot on. Save made by Morris and picked up by Ware. Ware trying to escape some pressure coming on from McKenna there. And he's able to settle it and get it off to his goaltender to start this breakout. Looking to pass forward here is George Fulton. He'll just carry it over the midfield line himself. Griffin Schutz stayed back and knocked out of the stick and caused turnover here by Cullen Brown.
We said the Buckeyes make a lot of turnovers, and it's both on offense and defense. Third in the country in caused turnovers, and a nice little swipe there at the end of the play to give the Buckeyes the possession back.
Griffin Turner will pick it up right at the midfield line. He'll carry over as Ohio State looks to get set up here. Turner on his right has a pass on down to O'Leary. Now working around behind the net is Donnery. Far side, it's Liam White. White fighting off pressure here. Flag coming in for a slash. Marinier will set up a play amidst that. Now Griffin Turner. Turner looking to drive in here. Has some space on his left to shoot. He'll take a shot and he'll score. Griffin Turner.
It's only the fourth goal of the season for the senior. He's been more in the passing lane earlier in the season, but we've said it, the Buckeyes just have so many weapons. This one from long range finds a great lane and honestly just catches Kyle Morris lacking a little bit, standing towards the right side of that goal, and it's just nice and open, and it's going to be 2-1 Buckeyes. What a play.
And how about that for a turnaround from what it was 2-1 Virginia to have that goal called back. And you get the man up here as well, with Burt sitting over in the penalty box right now.
Virginia penalty on number 10.
So Oldman will come out to take the faceoff again. He'll have Andrew Greenspan this time, the secondary faceoff man for Virginia. Ariel and Johnny Cool on the wings for Ohio State. Tommy McNeil, the lone winger for Virginia. Greenspan can't pick it up cleanly. McNeil will be able to do so. Virginia man down here, have possession, and are probably just going to try and kill off some time. Van Buren coming out to defend Millen. Millen punched out to the near side wing here. He'll get a pass up to Schutz. Schutz sitting waiting again. Reminder, 30 seconds gone on the man down for Virginia. And they've got possession of it, and they're just sitting waiting right now. They're content and hanging on to it, and Ohio State's not pressing out to them.
Yeah, it looks like the Buckeyes are okay as well. They just said, okay, I guess we lost the face-off. I guess we're just going to lose this man up and let the time expire. It does mean for Virginia they won't have too much time left to go on this possession if they do choose to try and take it to the net.
8 seconds left on the man up. Waiting to come on here is Joey Terenzi. 2 seconds now, and the extra man on as they're back to even strength here. Terenzi quickly in. Ari Allen, the quick midfielder, out trying to defend him defensively here. A little bit of rough pass from Terenzi, picked up out of the dirt by Millen. And he'll work a pass back out to the far side to Menke. Menke trying to get towards the middle, turn, rip a shot on wide of the far post. Stays Virginia ball. Didn't get on target, so 5 seconds to shoot here for Virginia.
Gotta be quick.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Pull it over into the corner where Merrill started for Ohio State here. Merrill trying to walk in here on Mac Till. Fulton turns to try and defend him. Pass behind the net looking for Jack McKenna. He couldn't pick cleanly, but able to get his own ground ball there. McKenna one-on-one with Burt here. Behind the net, McKenna looking for options around. Still fighting for passing lanes here. Gets it up to O'Leary. 35 seconds on the shot clock here for Ohio State. Pass far side to Marinier. Behind the net, McKenna. It's actually Mayer back there. Mayer looking around for options, double teamed, and pressed back out wide. He manages to retain possession, gets it up to Donnery. Donnery works back towards the X, gets it over to Haas. 15 seconds to shoot now. Behind the net, Haas turns wraparound shot on right off the crossbar, it looked like. And it's going to go the other way. Crease violation called in Ohio State will send it back Virginia's way.
Huge momentum killer there at the end. Had the possibility to reset the shot clock again.
Now Virginia looking to set up. Colsey has the ball. We'll set it up to Menke up top. Waiting for reinforcements. Walsh looking to come on here for Virginia. Lake Island for Ohio State. Menke will give it right over to Walsh. Near side pass to Millen. Millen trying to get inside on Van Buren here. And Buren muscles him down below the goal line. Still with Millen. Under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter now. Pass right over the middle, looking for a dangerous one. Was wide open there with Schutz, but just couldn't cleanly get it. Now picked up by Ohio State. Cullen Brown has the ground ball. He's trying to avoid traffic. Ware knocks the ball out of his stick and is sent over towards the sideline. They'll go off Ohio State. Virginia ball here. Terenzi will have it, being called a little bit more inside, waiting for the whistle to go, and just walk over the midfield line. Langermeyer will come out to play him. Menke will take the pass here from Terenzi. He'll go right back to him. He'll look to drive from up top here. Terenzi on his left has it on his right, able to spin away from Langermeyer. Gets it over to Colsey. Pick set as Cullen Brown is worked off of it. Shot on wide of the far post from Colsey.
Again, it's been shots for the Cavaliers, but just a little bit off target, and Fayak so hard to beat with his size.
Millen behind the net. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Millen trying to get topside here on Van Buren. On his left, loses the ground ball, picks it right back up. Now up top again with Terenzi. Has it on his left, low space to shoot. He'll shoot. That bounce shot well over the top of the cage. Stays with Virginia here. Schutz has it in the far side corner. Island out defending him here for Ohio State. Schutz right in on target. Shot on, save, bounce over the cage. Fayak gets enough of it to send it high. Stays Virginia ball. Fresh 60 on the clock. 90 seconds in the game clock. Menke has it behind the cage. One-on-one with Langermeyer here. Tries to pass in to Millen, and Island plants him. Missed a shot, sending it way over the cage. But stays Virginia ball again. Pass on up to Schutz. Schutz working away on Island. Cullen Brown coming in to help out. He'll slide on in. Behind the net and up top, Terenzi, the shot bouncer well over the cage. A lot of shots on bounce shots, and a lot of shots going over the cage right now, or wide of the cage from Virginia.
I mean, Virginia's beating the Buckeyes 10-6 in shots, but losing in shots on goal 3-4.
Menke has it. We'll get it over to Sunderland. He can't pick that ball cleanly. Liedl trying to make him work on it, and a flag will be down here on likely a slash here on Liedl. Pass up top to Colsey, trying to get away from Island. Cullen Brown, the slide, will take over defensively. Colsey will put a pass up to Menke, and now to Millen. Millen managed to stay with possession, being dropped off his feet, and Colsey will just drop the ball there with time expiring on the shot clock. He'll take the man up and not lose possession as a result of it.
Great job to just calm things down here for Virginia. Talk about that goal swing. We thought we were getting 6 or 7 goals apiece for each team with how this game started. The Buckeye defense started to lock in, that challenge flag coming in big. But you talk about, for the Cavaliers, they've got a big man-up opportunity right before they head into their first intermission.
Ohio State penalty on number 48, Griffin Liddell.
Liedl sits. Cullen Brown, Bobby Van Buren, Johnny Cole, Langermeyer, and Foster for Ohio State. It'll be up with Sunderland up top here. I'll put it over to Colsey. Now far side Menke. Winds up the shot, takes it. Save made by Fayak, and Langermeyer picks up the ground ball. Full minute penalty for Liedl, and Ohio State's killing off some time right now. Langermeyer spins away. Fighting off some traffic. Eats a check a little bit up high there. I think might have caught him in the chin, and Nick Myers not happy about that at all. And we'll call a timeout to talk things over, let his team settle up and settle down here with 10 seconds left in the quarter. It'll be up, and they're just going to likely try to kill off the rest of this quarter here. It's with McKenna. He'll just try to go down to the corner. Stays with possession here, gets a check up high, and is going to draw a flag. Perfectly done by Ohio State as time expires. Quarter down, Ohio State's up 2-1 here. We'll be 5-on-5 when we come back from break here on Big Ten Plus. Ohio State ecstatic over this first quarter. Now Mayer carrying down into the corner where he was at the start of the last attempt. There's in the corner, set up play here for Ohio State. Trying to work away from Will Erdman. Thought he had a goal earlier, got taken back. 15 seconds in, just 5 seconds left on the Lido penalty. Mayer, pass far side, Jack McKenna, the shot bounces by Morris, and Ohio State's got 3.
Just great passing from the Buckeyes. Really good workaround after what was being iced from the word go in this second quarter. And Marinier, again, we talk about him. He's not the one scoring, but does so much work as that offensive back just opens up this one-on-one passing play. And the Buckeyes, it is 3 unanswered goals.
4th goal of the season for Jack McKenna. And the Buckeyes, again, from being down 1 to challenging it to get turnover, have now scored 2 straight and have a 2-goal lead here with 2 seconds left on the Lido penalty still. The penalty to Ware is killed off for Virginia, so they'll, I guess, be up a man here for 2 seconds, which pretty much just covers the initial whistle on the face-off and a second after that.
Unless you're Usain Bolt with some incredible kicks and can get it down very quick.
Looks like Langermeyer's waiting to come on here for Ohio State. Lido probably will go straight over to the bench. Time expired now. Goes right into the offensive half. Marinier trying to get a piece of it. Sheehan has it in the middle. He'll bounce a shot in, and it goes off the body of Morris and swept away for Ohio State ball. Langermeyer to come onto the field, but him straight back off, and O'Leary's darting on. As we're finally back to 6-on-6 now. I was going to say even strength, but I guess when we were 5-on-5, we were also even strength. Griffin Turner has the ball up top. Turner, White, O'Leary line on midfield for Ohio State. White working around, gets it back up to Turner. Scored already once in this game. Turner, space on his left, gets it out to Marinier. Marinier trying to get towards the middle. No space to shoot, goes back to Turner. Turner in the middle. A little bit of space, not quite enough there. Has it on his left now, gets it over to Sheehan. Sheehan, Haas both on right now to primarily play the X spot. Donnery out right now in the Ohio State attack. Haas gets it over far side to Sheehan. Sheehan working towards the middle. And pressed on. 9 seconds here to shoot for Ohio State. Fake shot on right in the middle. Liam White trying to get a piece of it, and it's knocked out of his way. Picked up by Tommy Snyder. Now back is Morris. He'll fling it over far side to Chismar, one of the captains for Virginia. Fulton has a pass to Terenzi. Trying to go over the midfield line. Island will stay back for at least the moment. O'Leary reestablishes, and now Island able to get into the defensive half for Ohio State. Virginia setting up the ball right now. Colsey waiting for reinforcements. Pass goes up top and then over to the far side quickly. Millen trying to drive in on Van Buren. Easily stuffs him out to the corner. Millen long pass over to the near side here. Gets it into Hackett. Hackett tries to go right towards the goal, right off the stick of Caleb Fyock. Fyock makes another save and kind of boxed out the man, allowing Langermeyer to get the pickup on the ground ball as well. How about that from the Buckeye goaltender? 4 saves out of 5 already for Fyock. And quickly coming down is Gannon Matthews in a little bit of space. He'll settle the ball in. Ohio State not afraid to go quickly right now. Garrett Haas swings it out to Marinier. Pass up to McKenna. McKenna fakes the shot, goes over to the middle of the field there, a little bit of space. Can't quite get the pass off to Mayer. Now is able to do so. Mayer cutting back towards the middle of the field. Fake pass now swings it out to Matthews. Matthews picks set by Sheehan. Goes right off at space to shoot for Matthews off the side of the goal. Ever so close as Ohio State to making it 4. Staying with the ball and fresh 60 on the clock. Mayer has it on the far wing here. Trying to cut towards the middle. McKenna the pick. Shot on goes the stick there of Ware. And it's picked right back up here by Garrett Haas in Ohio State. Pass in the middle, couldn't find Sheehan. McKenna stays with it, splits 2, puts a shot on, and Ware gets the deflection again. Back-to-back deflections from Ben Ware.
Really good defense there, but Virginia's got to be careful with that heavy press. It leaves the X spot open for the Buckeyes. We know they've shown their speed, and these quick upfield plays with the goalkeeper are dangerous. We've seen them turn it over right there before.
Snyder drops a pass off to Millen. Schutz waiting for it, but had to avoid that pass as Dominic Shaw was waiting there to intercept, but had they forced that pass, Millen would have carried over to the near side alley.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
On the clock. Question is, does Virginia even have enough time to get a shot off here? And it looks like they won't. It's going to be launched up in the air by Millen, give himself enough time to get some subs on defensively.
And honestly, that defense, man, from the Buckeyes has just stepped up and stepped up. Credit to Bobby Van Vuren, who so often just, like you said, that physicality, a couple quick shoves to keep them out of the lane. And the Buckeyes once again with possession.
Cullen Brown looking around for options to flip it back to his goaltender, Caleb Fyock. Pass in the middle, finds Blake Island. Island gets it over the midfield line, gets it on to Gannon Matthews. Matthews drop pass back for Ben Mayer. Mayer, some space around in the offensive zone, still waiting to get McKenna on as Island now gets off. And Langermeyer gets back, which gets McKenna on here. Matthews stays with the ball as Ohio State looks to set up a play here. Matthews space to drive in. Has to throw a pass out wide to Donnery. 5 minutes on the clock. McKenna turning into the middle. Not enough space to get a shot off, but able to get it over on the pass to Mayer. Now Marinier winds up his first shot of the day, and it's wide of the target. They're going to say it's Virginia ball, though it looked like Ohio State was well closer on that one. Morris will get it on a pass over to Schroeder here. And get it up to Schutz. Schutz crosses the midfield line, able to get a possession set up here for Virginia. Dominic Shaw coming on as a short stick D-mid for Ohio State. They're very comfortable using him. Right now it seems to be after trying to ease him in early in the season. Ari Allen coming out, pressing defensively on Schutz. Now Millen with the ball for Virginia. Back to Schutz up top. Schutz trying to get inside on Allen, not enough space to do so. Millen pass up top for Menke. Walsh can't gather the ground ball. Shaw tries to come in. Lido can't pick it up cleanly. Cullen Brown nudges it forward. He'll just run onto it, tries to pick up the ground ball, still doesn't have the ground ball, and it'll just bounce on over to Marinier, who finally gets the ball out of the dirt there.
Nice little juggling act from the Buckeyes.
Bit of like a lacrosse version of a fumble-rooski there. Liam White now has it up top for Ohio State as the defense continues to hold strong. Just one goal against, and it was the very beginning of the game, just 35 seconds into the game. Garrett Haas has it behind the net. Cullen Brown still up on the offense right now. Ball in the middle. Marinier's shot's blocked. Can't get the rebound, and it's picked up by Ware. Uses his hand essentially to knock a stick away there. Gets a pass up to Chismar, who gets it over to the offensive half of the field. Cullen Brown still trying to get back there. Now finally gets back for Ohio State. Millen has it in the middle. Gets it out to Terenzi. Pass on down to Colsey. He'll walk over towards the corner. Steps back up in the alley. Bounces out wide, sitting waiting right now for reinforcements. Drop pass back for Millen. Millen one-on-one with Van Buren here. Van Buren stays with him off the slide. In the middle, Sunderland can't get the shot off, and the pass is wide of Chismar. Another turnover for Virginia.
Man, Nick Meyer's squad has just been causing turnover after turnover, continuing to get that possession going their way. And And talk about Fayak just stepping on his belt to help that offense get going.
Langermeyer has a pass over to Mayer. A little bit high of a pass, but Mayer's able to track it down. Definitely helps to be 6'1" if you're Ben Mayer there to range for that one. Matthews now has it right back to Mayer. Mayer working around that offensive zone. Gets it over to McKenna. McKenna walking on down the alley, looking to find an option. Has Haas behind the net. Likes to stay with it himself and work towards that X spot. McKenna turns, pass up top to Matthews. Far side Mayer. Mayer can't get inside. On Schroeder, gets the window check on him and takes the ball away. Going back the other way here quickly is John Schroeder with Matthews back trying to defend him. Schroeder works straight down. His shot saved by Fayak. And Johnny Cool picks it up for the Buckeyes.
The defenders have put in a lot of work today for the Cavaliers, but again, it's a quick possession, another quick turnover, and the Buckeyes are back to work.
And Scannon Matthews stays with it. Ohio State able to keep at least some of the same offensive line on now, trying to transition him out to get that second line midfield on. Liam White can't pick the ball cleanly out of the dirt. Able to get it back himself now. MacTill trying to make him lose that ball. White waiting for Turner and O'Leary to come on. O'Leary first on, Turner trailing. O'Leary gets it right to Turner. 70 seconds to go in the quarter. 70 seconds to go on the half here. Ball down with Garrett Haas. Haas one-on-one with Kaloji. Has him a little bit trapped behind the net. Morris, the goaltender, will come out. White will turn, put a shot on. That goes off the back. There it looks like of Erdman. And a ball we launched out of play. Looks like off Virginia as Donnery forces that ball out of play off Kaloji. Stays Ohio State ball here. Trying to go to the middle is O'Leary right off the crossbar on the shot. And it goes out wide. Marinier's first there.
He got hit as well, dropping to the ground. Another close attempt. The Buckeyes, it is just onslaught after onslaught, and it's going to be the penalty marker on the field.
Ohio State will go back to the man up here. O'Leary got the shot on, got drove down the ground by Griffin Kaloji, and he'll sit here for Virginia as Ohio State gets their second man up of the day, the first that it seems like they'll actually maybe get a piece of. Remember the last man up, Virginia had the ball for all of it. Quite literally. I don't know if Ohio State had it for more than 1 second on the power play. Because it came straight off the face-off after that goal. They got tied up in the face-off, then it won by Virginia, and then they just held on to it the entire minute, and Ohio State's like, all right, deal. Now Ohio State has it behind the nets. It's with Haas. I'll sling it over to Donnery, right back to Haas. 30 seconds here on the quarter. Turner up top, looking for options. Has it over far side to Mayer. Back to Turner. Turner, pass up to Ed Sheehan, right back to Turner. Turner walking on down, gets it over to Mayer, and pass back up top to Sheehan. Sheehan set up a last-second play here, 10 on the game clock. 5 seconds now, Ohio State got to go real quickly if they want to get a playoff. I assume they're just going to hold on to it, content with that, and taking the offensive possession into the second half, where they'll start with the ball with 18 seconds left on the man up. Donnery will start with it. He'll quickly go up towards the goal as we get the third quarter underway here. Haas, pass over. It's up top. It's with Griffin Turner. Turner looking around, gets it over. Back to Ben Mayer. Mayer space to shoot, goes up top, back to Turner. Over to far side to Marinier the one time. Doesn't get it to go. Question is, will it be a reset shot clock? It looks like it will be for Ohio State. Maybe Morris got a piece of that, and it'll go over to the far side corner. Mayer gets it, and Ohio State gets to retain possession here.
And Marinier was kind of a ghost throughout that first half. Like to see that he gets a shot here early.
McKenna has the ball up top. Space to put a pass behind the net to Garrett Haas. Kind of set a moving screen for him there. Pass will go back to Haas, and a difficult feat to put a pass over Jack McKenna at 6'6", but somehow managed to make that work. Now Virginia takes over with the ball. Bird gets it into Morris. Morris gets it forward to Ware. Ware will carry over the midfield line. No one back for Virginia there, and offside going to be called. Bit of miscommunication between Looking Menke and Burt that time as neither of them stayed back. Another turnover for Virginia, and Island has the ball right now for Ohio State. Going up top is Griffin Turner. Getting Matthews on right now as well. Island, Matthews, and Turner. Not the optimal offensive midfield line for Ohio State, but one they know they can use. They need to. Island can play offense and is doing so. And he puts a shot on and scores. Blake Island, how about that?
We said it can be anybody and everybody for the Buckeyes, and it all starts with that offsides. Another transition of momentum where it feels like Virginia's getting going, and you just see it. They're allowing some of these younger players to open up on those side wings. It has opened up right down Broadway, and how about the junior getting involved for the 4th goal straight for the Buckeyes?
And the first time in a long time, we'll have a face-off. We haven't seen one in quite a long time. Ohio State started with possession out of the quarters, the last 2 quarters. We've only had 1 goal since the start of the first quarter, outside of the one was just scored. So Oldman finally back out there for Ohio State, the first time in a long time he's seen the field. All tied up in the middle, still not picked up cleanly yet. Looks like now it's going to be picked by the junior defender Malachi Jones. Tied up in the middle, Oldman gets the ground ball back, still in the middle, unclaimed. All kinds of tie up here. Johnny Cool trying to help out there. Jones trying to get it away from him. He's knocked over off the ball there. Still not picked up. At some point today, we might have the ground ball picked up. We're still yet to see that. I'm unsure about it at this point in time. It's just right in the middle of the pile there. Literally like 6, 7 players per team, it feels like, in that pile right now. All the defenders, and finally Cullen Brown gets it, and he'll just walk on over to the side of the field. We get a little bit of a fast break. As Jack Oldman's still on for Ohio State right now. He'll start to walk over. Probably the longest shift he's had on the field in a long time. Literally felt like he's probably out there for a minute and change while that ground ball was tied up in the middle. Now ball up top with Griffin Turner. Turner gets some space away from Mac Till. And it's O'Leary now with the possession. Gets it back over to Turner. Turner has Marinier available for the pick. Elects to go back inside on it. Puts a pass right down to O'Leary, the shot, and they score. Ohio State offense showing up here in the 3rd quarter.
Beautiful system play, and whatever Nick Myers said to him in the halftime has encouraged them to score back-to-back goals, now on double-digit shots on goal as well. But it's the passing, again, just opened up wide on that right side. You leave anybody 1-on-none against the goaltender. The Buckeyes have so many weapons, and they are putting the Cavaliers on upset alert.
Would be the 2nd weekend in a row that Virginia would drop a game. Lost to Richmond last weekend. Got that win against High Point on Tuesday, but not getting much offense to go right now against Ohio State. Got the ground ball on the face-off. Their 4th win of the day. Chismar will send it out to Colsey as they look to set up here. Top line midfielders coming on here for Virginia. Schutz, Walsh, and Menke with the ball up top. Send it over to Walsh. Walsh one-on-one here with Island. Scored Ohio State's 4th goal of the game just recently. Our far side, Colsey has it one-on-one with Ari Allen. A little bit of a mismatch Virginia will take. Colsey trying to get to the front of the goal there. Allen staying right with him. Foster coming on the slide right out in front. Shot on Sunderland. It's planted by Liedl. It's going to be a loose push. It looks like Liedl there after Sunderland shot. Mentioned the save as well from Caleb Fyack. They're huge, but Virginia will get it straight back here.
Sunderland, a highlight of this offense. They need him to get going.
Ball over the far side with Millen. Running all the way around, taking Bobby Van Buren with him. Now Sunderland. And the whistle goes here. Conversation going on with the officials. And the ball will just be set right back up top. And shot clock was inaccurate, so they're resetting that back to 52 seconds here. Schutz trying to get away from Liedl. Pass far side to Menke. Menke trying to get top side on Ari Allen, can't quite do so. Schutz bodies off Griffin Liedl, and Fyack makes a nice save on Schutz. And going back the other way with speed, here comes Cullen Brown. The wheels of the long pole striding in. He's got space to shoot. He'll put a bouncer on. It's over the top, and Sheehan stays with it.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
3 goals for Virginia on the quarter. Greenspan sweeps the face-off forward. Lidl just launched it actually over, and it goes right to Colsey for Virginia. Jones has it roll off his stick, can't pick the ground ball cleanly out of the dirt, and it goes out of play. Now Ohio State gets another turnover for Virginia.
These big shifts of momentum, it feels like Virginia's getting these large surges. They get a couple goals, and then they make a turnover like this. Buckeyes already have one. If you're the Cavalier defense, you cannot allow another here on this defensive struggle.
One thing to note, Virginia 9 of 12 on faceoffs today. Jack Goldman not been able to get things to go his ways. 3 and 10 himself, with Kraske 0 and 2. Gabriel, Greenspan both putting in works on those Ohio State faceoff guys. You'd think that's be setting them up well offensively, but those turnovers killing them right now. Pass behind the net. Jack McKenna has it here for Ohio State. McKenna turning, gets it up top. Looking for options right now. McKenna tries the swim move. Rolls, turns back inside. McKenna space to shoot. He's knocked down mid-shot. It stays Ohio State ball, though. Pass goes up top for Marinier. Marinier tries the pass to McKenna. Read perfectly by George Fulton. And the turnover forced on the Buckeyes. Trying to carry over the midfield line. Flag coming down on Ed Sheehan, as it looked like Mac Till there pushed out towards the sideline, and Sheehan will set another penalty on the Buckeyes here. He gives another chance for Virginia.
It is going to be interesting to see how the physicality goes all throughout this game as we take another look at it. Heads down towards the shoulder, and then a little bit of dive as well from the Cavaliers. So interesting to see what they'll do with this man-up offense. It was actually Virginia who were having a lot more of those penalties in the first half, and now the Buckeyes starting to get a couple of their own.
Coming into the game today, Virginia 31st in the country in man-up percentage, 38.5%. Scored 1 already today. Schutz has a pass down to Millen. Colsey was trying to crash into the middle of the right out in front. Sunderland, big save. Fayak tipped it onto the post. And Ohio State's trying to clear the zone. Miscommunication, Johnny Cool and Cullen Brown, neither of them went for the ground ball. Van Buren's able to get it. And it's going the other way. Ohio State will take possession of it here. Van Buren will go quickly forward. He'll get up to Langermeyer. 5 seconds left in the Sheehan penalty. O'Leary's coming on, White trailing. Back to even strength here. Sheehan coming back on. Haas still on the sideline right now for Ohio State. Ball with Turner up top. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Erdman coming out to defend Turner. Turner has space on his left. Tries to go back inside, puts a pass down to Sheehan. Sheehan goes right back to Turner. Turner spins, looking around for options. Throws it over to White. White trying to cut inside, not enough space there as he's pressed back out wide. Wilsbert pressing him out there. 25 seconds to shoot here for Ohio State. White trying to get inside, the spin move didn't work. Pass free up top, space here for Donnery to wind up, and he buries a shot past Kyle Morris.
It's once again these outer passing rotations from the Buckeyes that just get it between the three of them. The double committal as well on that right side opens up the left for a big swing and kill from Ryan Donnery, who just had space all day. The Virginia offense just couldn't catch up.
And that spot on the field as well is generally where you expect Alex Marinier to be for Ohio State. Donnery there in space. You have to wonder now if that spot might be open on the field. Can Ohio State get someone over to Marinier?
He's been pretty quiet today, but, you know, like we said, if you're winning, you're winning, and Marinier's been setting up others as well.
8th goal this season for Ryan Donnery, 2nd goal of the day. And Ohio State will take possession. Here, Ari Allen will pick up the ball. He'll carry it over the midfield line. The Mayer, Matthews, McKenna line looking to come on. Allen back on this side of the field. McKenna will step on. Mayer has it up top. We'll go straight to McKenna. 4-goal lead now for Ohio State as they've started to climb back offensively. Working around behind the net. There is Garrett Haas back onto the field. Haas gets it back to McKenna. McKenna using his size, try to get top side there. Fights off checks, gets a pass up to Donnery. Over to Matthews. Matthews carries down near side. Running down behind the net. It's a pass to Ben Mayer. Mayer turning, throwing a shot on, straight down off the crossbar. And it's knocked down. Trying to get it past in the middle. Haas can't pick it up. It's back here with, looks like Schroeder there, escaping all kinds of traffic to find that pass off to his goaltender. Malachi Jones will cross the midfield line. Mayer's back right now. He'll cross back over the midfield. And Ohio State's able to get some of their defenders on, but Virginia will basically set up with the rest of this quarter here. There's only 20 seconds of difference between the shot clock and game clock right now. Definitely they could use a goal to end this quarter, that's for sure. With Hackett up top. Hackett gets a pass over here to Terenzi. Terenzi will cut over the top, but a pass far side to Colsey. Bounce pass behind the net for Sunderland, near side Millen. 1 minute to go in the quarter. 30 seconds to shoot for Virginia. Question mark shot coming on there from Millen. That one's wide of the target. Van Buren stayed right with them, muscled him out of the way to force that shot away from the target. 20 seconds now to shoot here for Virginia. Colsey has the ball. Colsey trying to go topside. Cullen Brown staying right with him. Interlead, looking to get a shot off. It's wide of the target. 7 seconds left in that shot clock. We'll say 6 as it goes out of play. 38 seconds here. Definitely enough time to get the shot off, but you gotta go real quickly here if you're Virginia. Millen will put it right across the middle, looking for Colsey there. That pass well out of the target. Cullen Brown had him tied up as well. It'll go out of play 32.5, and Ohio State will get the last chance here if they can get it up top quickly.
And I love that matchup. Buckeyes rotating Cullen Brown, who's 14th right now in all of the NCAA in terms of turnovers caused per game. Colsey, obviously the offensive threat, so put number 1 on number 1 and see what happens.
Fayok gets it to Van Buren. He'll carry over the midfield line with O'Leary staying back right now. Gets it in to Turner. Garrett Haas buries it low to low. Ohio State, 12 seconds is all it took for them to get the forward. And they'll score a 16.9 with their 6th goal of the quarter.
And for a team that averages winning by about 6.5 per game, again, the scoring threats, the passing, and a broken defensive structure from the Cavaliers. If 2 and 1 are passing to each other right in front of the net, I don't think you're ever going to stop them any defense in the NCAA.
There's probably enough space. Haas could have probably taken a few steps in there if he really felt like it. Didn't need to, but, I mean, you had space to. And it's 9-4 here in Columbus. Seen offense definitely turning up here. Virginia came alive. Ohio State offense said we can do that too, and they've doubled up the amount that Virginia's put up here in this quarter. 12th goal of the season for Garrett Haas, 10th goal of the season for the assist leader Griffin Turner.
Your Buckeye goal. His second
Face-off
lead in
picked up Jack Oldman. Maybe another one coming here for the Buckeyes. Oldman's racing straight down. He puts a shot on, and he scores. Jack Oldman.
Oldman has struggled on the face-off circle, but wins the one that counts. And how about Fayok all the way down the field to give him a big shoulder-to-shoulder tap, and the Buckeyes are up to double digits. And they covered him. They thought they had him. They had 2 players on him, and Oldman, the 3rd goal of the season, still finds it.
Took 8 seconds. There's 8.6 again. He has time to do it again.
time.
He could do it again in theory. I expect Gabriel to at least hold him up a little bit here. If not win the faceoff, he's won the majority of them against him today. It's sent forward. Neither of them found it. It's been picked up and just launched down by Chismar. It was right off the stick of Johnny Cool, and Fayok will just come straight out and wire it down about 25 feet over the net. But he got it off in time. 10-4 as we end the 3rd quarter here. fourth goal of the day. Virginia, they managed to get, and then Ohio State came back with a flurry their way. Finished off by that man, Jack Oldman, who nearly seemed to pick that face-off out and then turn it straight over to Virginia there. Colsey couldn't control the pass, and Cullen Brown picks it up. Ohio State will get possession of it here. He worked forward by Kyle Foster. Will go right back to his goaltender. And then goaltender will go right back to him. Fyack finding a shot, trying the 10-man ride very nearly there. Kyle Foster trying the 100-foot shot. Well, like 100-yard shot nearly actually there.
It was close too.
Gannon Matthews scored on it last weekend against Air Force when Air Force put on the 10-man ride. Didn't run the 10-man ride the entire rest of the game after that. Nearly there, got caught out again was Virginia. Ohio State nearly got a second easy goal. Thing is, it's still not even that easy to goal. It's hard to hit a shot on target from that range. And Menke has it now as Virginia looks to get set up here.
It's more on target than some of the Ohio State shots have been at point blank.
You are very correct about that. Schutz trying to get away from Johnny Cool. Space in the middle to get a shot off, and Cool comes over the top on the window to knock that shot away. Stays Virginia ball, though. 40 seconds on the shot clock here. Millen working around behind the nets. Gets a pass up. Colsey will swing it on over to Schutz. Schutz trying to get inside on Johnny Cool. Can't quite do so. 25 seconds to shoot here. Schutz being pressed back out wide. Menke sends it over to Walsh. Walsh pass in the middle. Bouncer gets right to Colsey there, but he can't claim that, and he'll just leave it as Fyack picks it up there, not trying to test the goaltender at all. Had 4 Buckeyes around him. Island trying to get over the midfield line here. He'll send it right back to his goaltender. A little bounce shot, or bounce pass there away from his goaltender. Van Buren gets it. Foster gets it to get him. Matthews stood on the sideline very nearly out of play there. Matthews has it over the midfield line. He'll try to carry it on forward. And I think Ohio State can be called for offside as Island try to step back and hide it. But an offside called in the Buckeyes there.
And Virginia really needs to make some possession and go quick off of this one.
Ware will send it back to Colsey. Ryan Colsey working around the younger Kyle Colsey on the sideline for Virginia. Ball up top with Joey Terenzi. Terenzi, 1-on-1 here with Langermeyer, one of the Buckeye captains. Colsey, top of the box. Drop it off for Sunderland here. Foster trying to stay right with them. Now pass behind the net goes to Millen. Millen, 1-on-1 with Van Buren, and he'll just strip him off the ball. Another caused turnover by Ohio State. Another turnover for Virginia. We're 18 on the day of turnovers. And a pass gets swung over again, and Matthews easily evades Millen and gets a pass over to Liam White. Now set in to Marinier as Ohio State sits and waits for reinforcements to come on. White gets it back to O'Leary. Second midfield line on here for Ohio State. Turner has the ball up top, looking to go 1-on-1 with Wilsbert. Turner space to get right in. He'll put a shot on, and Griffin Turner gets another one.
The speed increase from the Buckeyes, so often they start slow, and this is how they've been killing teams throughout these past couple games. They get the lead, they extend the margin, and then once you slow it down, you get a little bit complacent as the defense. You say, okay, we're just waiting until the shot clock gets low, and then with that super speed that the Buckeyes have, find another. They'll answer the single goal from Virginia there at the end of the third, and now lead by 7.
Ohio State scored 3 goals in the first half. With that goal, that's 8 in the second half, and the Buckeye offense is cruising against Virginia. Now Gabriel wins the faceoff. He'll pick it straight up. Oldman can't get the ball off his stick, and Gabriel flips it out to Colsey. Maybe Virginia trying to go quickly here, try to catch the Ohio State defense out. Millen turns space for the shot, denied by Liedl as he comes out to claim that. Pass up top to Ware. Ware still on right now. Offensively, not a guy that doesn't score as well, Ben Ware. Ball in the middle, Ware fighting for possession, can't go quite much on it, and it's launched the other way down in the corner. See if Ohio State can keep it in. It goes off the leg, looked like of Garrett Haas after he tried to pick it off, and it went out of play. Ben Ware, 4 goals and an assist as a defender. That's pretty special.
It's pretty exciting to see. And honestly, for Virginia, they're going to need him not only today to step up with these remaining minutes, but you talk about a really tough schedule upcoming for the Cavaliers. Got to go to Johns Hopkins. Not the easiest matchup in the world.
At least one benefit, you don't really have to travel too far. East Coast to East Coast, Virginia to Maryland. Shoots, has the ball right now. Shoots working around on Cullen Brown, puts a shot on. Turned away, Fayak tried to run it down. He's not happy at all. Actually, it turned over. Looked initially like it was being called their way. Then it's given. Fayak wins the raceway from Sunderland there. And that's the extent of a goaltender's conditioning right there. 10-yard sprint behind the nets.
And he eyed him down, too. He's like, okay, I'm fast. I'm the man. And he has been the man. Save percentage wild today for Fayak.
Goaltending gear is much heavier to wear than normal gear as Marinier. Wind-up shot. Great save on Matthew Nunes, the new goaltender. I think that one hurt him a little bit too. I saw him wince in pain a bit. And timeout called by Ohio State. It's with Ben Mayer. Mayer carries around into the middle, fights off some traffic there. As Virginia starting to put some heavy pressure on George Fulton. Big 6'6" defender coming out to play. Mayer splitting all kinds of traffic. Throws a shot on and scores. What an individual effort there from Ben Mayer.
Virginia, out of the timeout, switch up their defensive structure and start to put that heavy press. They put a player behind the X as well, but Mayer, 1-on-4 is just too quick, and for Will Erdman just was not able to catch him. A wide open angle, and the Buckeyes extend the lead to 8.
Imagine he'll be the one matched up against Walsh at the top here. Walsh gets the ball from the official, goes straight down on in. It's a pass near side to Colsey. Down low behind that is Menke. Langermeyer one-on-one with him behind the nets. He's staying with him. Van Buren coming in on the slide, takes over. Pass near side to Millen. Langermeyer now defending him. Pass in the middle, right down. Walsh! Big save, Fayak to turn that one away into the corner. Stays Virginia ball. Sunderland gets it up to Walsh, near side Schutz. Schutz trying to get inside. Being pressed away by Langermeyer. Pass out wide. Now down low. Behind the net is Colsey. Colsey one-on-one with Island right now. Van Buren coming over on the slide. Foster comes up top. Sunderland rips a shot, and that one's tipped high. I think Johnny Cool got a piece of it, and it'll go the other way as Ohio State wins the race. Look at the wheels from Bobby Van Buren to win that one.
And Sunderland just isn't happy. Just starting throwing chucks at other players, and Ohio State doesn't necessarily need to go fast. They've just got this time to drain the clock, control the rest of the game.
O'Leary has the ball as he carries away into the offensive half. John Schroeder trying to stay right with him there. The wheels coming on from O'Leary there, just trying to avoid him. Liam White has it up top. Second midfield line on. White, O'Leary, Turner right now. Turner will come off the field. Ari Allen will come on. Was an offensive midfielder the first 2 years, and he's getting some offensive time right now. We know how shifty, how agile he is. The midfielder from Atlanta, Georgia. And he's getting some offensive time. Behind the net, Ed Sheehan has the ball. Ohio State an 8-goal lead under 8 minutes to go. Sheehan, turn around looking for options. Will send it behind the net to Liam White. A little bit high on the pass and over the top. Is too high for Liam White. If McKenna was back there, he probably could have caught that. Big difference in height between the two. Liam White, 5'10". Jack McKenna, 6'6". Virginia tries to get the ball over the midfield line here. Enderle is able to do so. He'll settle it, drop it out wide for Erdman. Erdman will send it on down to Sunderland. Virginia can't waste much time here. Need a lot of goals to come back in this game. Fayok in his goal has been doing everything he can to prevent a lot of goals. 10 saves on 14 shots today for Caleb Fayok. Ball up top with Hackett. Dominic Shaw out defending him for Ohio State. Hackett working around, launched the pass far side for Millen. Millen, a little bit of space there. Slide comes on as Kyle Foster stays with him there. Throws a shot in, right in the midsection. Fayok, another one. Make that 11 of 15 now on the day for Fayok. And Shaw, backhand pass right in the middle as he's going out of bounds. It's picked up by Ari Allen, stayed on to defend there, and has the ball back in the offensive zone. Swings it over to Sheehan, and he'll head off as Ohio State's able to settle in here offensively. Matthews waiting for reinforcements. Has it to Mayer. Blake Island on as well right now here. Scored already today. We know how good he can be offensively, even if primarily uses a defensive midfielder. And that's the second straight midfield line we've seen a defensive mid come on to play as the third midfielder on the offensive line. Matthews has it in the far side corner. One-on-one there with Mac Till. Pick set by Haas. He'll roll straight off of it. Matthews still has it, walking around 25 seconds here. Ohio State trying to kill off as much of the clock right now as they can, Luke. Now, 18 seconds. Till not pressing him out. Matthews staying with him. Matthews able to cut towards the inside there. Turns, put the pass up top. Mayer has it. Working around past the middle. Edge Sheehan bounce shot on just wide of the post. 3 seconds here. Not enough time for a shot, and I imagine Haas will just wait a sec and drop it back into the corner. Let Ohio State get some defensive players on quickly here.
Buckeyes will just get to breathe. I mean, the control over this game, Virginia had that late surge, it felt like, in the third quarter that was going to get them back in. But you go back after the Utah loss for the Buckeyes, really felt like that loss was needed to get this offense and the team going. 3 straight games, only allowing 4, and they're allowing only 4 here today.
Whistle goes here, at least for the moment. I think referee's having a word with Nick Myers on the sideline, trying to calm him down as he's a little bit worked up right now.
Ryan Donnery also went over and gave the ref a little hug, so don't know if he lost his vision for a second, just wanted to reset things.
Honestly, getting a little bit lucky as well. Sheehan came straight on the field right at that moment to try to keep the Ohio State onside at the time. Virginia has the ball. Near side pass finds Menke. Menke trying to get down low on goal. Loses the ball. Cullen Brown, another ground ball. He'll drop a pass over the top for Langermeyer. He's checked off it, but it happens to roll right to Blake Island, who passes it on. High pass snagged by Ed Sheehan there. And Virginia is trying to put 2 on right now. Trying to double team the ball, at least seems at the moment. Ohio State just leaving some defensive midfielders on, essentially playing 5-on-6 right now. As Langermeyer just staying on, not to wait for a sub to go on, but so that Ohio State has a defensive midfielder on, as they're not really pressing offensively. They're just trying to kill off time and know that they already have 1 sub on. Makes their life easy, at least at the moment. White, look at that as well. He's keeping all kinds of traffic. Now Langermeyer goes off, and White just swings a pass on over to Donnery. 30 seconds here. Ari Allen will come back on here for Ohio State as Turner steps over to the sideline. Now coming on down is O'Leary right to the goal, puts a shot on and scores, eats a shot too from Kaloji, and it's 13-4. Ohio State is dominating.
Hope you brought your extra hats here today, ladies and gentlemen. Another 3-ski from Shane O'Leary. A beautiful just running, and the Buckeyes are just able to do this. We said it, they can switch gears so quick. Nunez tries to step out to hit him with his body, and that just leaves the goal all wide open. Buckeyes, it is a monumental lead and possibly the final nail they need in the coffin.
Jack Goldman will come out to take the face-off again for Ohio State. Andrew Greenspan will match him, the Notre Dame transfer. Both of Virginia's face-off men didn't start their careers at Virginia.
Your Buckeye goal.
Obviously, Greenspan, Notre Dame. Gabriel started at Navy. Greenspan transferred this year. Gabriel last year. Ball right now with Millen. Van Buren out to defend him. Under 4 minutes to play here. 9-goal deficit for the Cavaliers. Is it looking to drop 2 of their last 3 games right now unless something massively changes here? Shot on wide of the target. That time Enderlead with the shot. Gets right back to Enderlead. Shaw trying to press in on him. Keeps that ball on the ground. Now it'll be picked back up by Enderlead. He'll go right to the front of the goal. Can't get the shot off. Cullen Brown had it for a second. Now we'll scoop through it as he picks up the ground ball here. Flings it over to Griffin Liedl. Liedl running down. Might have space for a shot. Put it up far side. Wiring one on is Donnery. That's 3 for Donnery. Make that 3 hat tricks in the day between these 2 teams. Colsey has 3. O'Leary has 3. Now Donnery has 3.
I'm officially out of hats. I brought 3 just in case, but if anybody gets any more, I just won't have enough. And again, you think the Buckeyes are just going to slow it down, right? They're just going to burn down the time. No, it is speed and right wing, top left corner shot that slams it out of the park for the senior. And man, extending the margin to 10 here for the Buckeyes, 22 shots on goal. And this little home stretch of games has been nice to them.
And first assist of the season as well for Griffin Liedl. The LSM getting up there to make something of it. Oldman sweeps the ball forward. Chismar can't pick it up cleanly. Malachi Jones will do so. Donnie Cool staying right with him. That one's flipped over. Noons has to come out to claim it. Sheehan staying with him there. The goaltender out. He'll sling a ball into the middle. That one's tipped up, but it's going to be pretty simple for Chismar to claim. He'll send it over to Malachi Jones, who tries to get the Virginia offense going here. Johnny Cool. Heavy press on there. And I think Lars Tiffany's going to take a timeout here with 2:43 to play. Down 10 here in Columbus, Virginia. Not having their best game. Johnny Cool will stay right with him to defend him. Shots working around. It's a pass into Millen. Millen will take a shot on, goes up the outside of the goal, and Fyack will pick it up. He'll just pass it right out to Langermeyer. Langermeyer working around. We'll swing a pass on over here. Cullen Brown finds Gannon Matthews. Matthews trying to escape pressure here. Slings a pass back over to Langermeyer. He'll cross the midfield line. Working around. All kinds of pressure coming on. He gets it in to Gannon Matthews. One more on the cards maybe for Ohio State. And Matthews just walking to the corner. Settle it down. 2 minutes to go. Ohio State content and is burning out this clock.
And it really feels like with this final burnout that the upset gonna come true. And Connor, I feel like it's gonna be Myers gonna be their top advocate to say they deserve a spot in the top 20.
You know, had a rough start to the season against Utah. 19 goals against in that game as Nick Myers takes a timeout here. But since then, a lot of 14-4 score lines. Cleveland State 14-4. Detroit Mercy 14-4. At Bellarmine 14-4 at one point. And Dominic Shaw has the ball right now, another defensive midfielders that Ohio State's trying to get some time for, the freshman midfielder. He's just working around the backhand. Malachi Jones tried the window check there. Couldn't get much on him. Now strips the ball out of his hands. But Shaw muscles him off, gets it straight back. Great work from the freshman there. And Shaw will just launch the ball on up to Liedl here. 10 seconds in the shot clock. Ohio State just going to wait this one out. Already defensive midfielders on the field here. Island will just turn, send it into the corner as it goes out of play off the netting, and Virginia will take over with 70 seconds to go.
Possibly just one final possession here for the Cavaliers, and obviously they've got a couple of home games after they visit Johns Hopkins, so trying to bounce back from this one. It's been Buckeye dominance from the word go.
Nick Myers hyping up the bench, hyping up the crowd, and what is a statement win for these Buckeyes in 50 seconds here. Millen trying to get a consolation here for Virginia. Throw a pass down low, and he hits one hard, and he is down in a heap in the middle. That is not a great play. I question why play is continuing right now. Enderlead runs to it and stops it. Millen not moving a lot right now. That is a rough hit that was put on there, and immediately a training staff out to take care of him over there. 2-minute penalty to Ari Allen here to end out this game. Schutz sends it on Passing around there in the middle. Mickey Harmeyer on as well right now for UVA. Behind the net. Sunderland to pick it up. He'll be forced over to the sideline here. He'll carry up the field a bit. Finds a pass up to Schutz. Right back to Harmeyer. Now Schutz. Walsh sends it in. Colsey behind the net to Sunderland. Right back to Colsey. Maybe one more for Virginia as Colsey wires one into the top corner. There's that consolation prize as Virginia makes it 14-5 here with 15 seconds to play.
They get the goal in Millen's honor as really good passing, long-range shot. I mean, Colsey's been there all day long, that right side, just unable to cover him. It's been tough for Kyle Foster, Bobby Van Buren, anybody that tries to play one-on-one against him. And Virginia's got a lot of bright spots and a special cosmetic goal here at the end.
14th goal of the season, 4th of the day for Ryan Colsey. Truett Sunderland with the assist, his hat trick of assists today. Highlighted him earlier in this game. A face-off, Oldman will pick it up. They'll just walk around. Virginia putting some pressure on. It looks like Wooten there, Max Wooten, bit of a strong hit on Jack Oldman. And as time expires here, 14-5, Ohio State takes down Virginia, number 12 team in the nation.